1, 2, 3. Tag me in podcast.
Back again with another episode. You are joined by myself, Ola.
And also Anton.
Yeah. Okay, and in today's episode, we are looking at reflection. Real reflection. Now,
this guy said real
reflection.
Why?
There's a reason why I didn't say just reflection, and I said real reflection. I can't
look in the mirror and be like, that's me. I got to look deeper.
It's got to be real. It's got to be way deep. That's surface level. We're talking deep. So coming towards the end of the year, 2019, we all know what that means. Christmas turkey. Everyone's getting ready for New Year's. Everyone's talking about New Year's resolutions. You know how it goes. I'm sure you've heard people say it. Anton, in the new year, I'm going to go gym. You ain't even ready. You know that meme of that lady walking on the blocks?
Oh, here we go. This one. Go on, yeah. On the blocks, on the stairs. And she's like leaving them behind the baggage. Fuck boys.
Only real men, proposal, wedding.
Dead energy.
And it's like, you know what, to be fair, I could never knock anyone for wanting to achieve more in life and push and look ahead and just think forward. It's amazing. But with reflection and real reflection, it's about being able to look back at the last 6 months to the last year and a couple of years and honestly say to yourself, what did I initially set out to achieve? Did I achieve those things? And how has the year been?
I'm laughing because I can't even remember what I set out for myself this year.
Bro, like, can you even just think about it for the past few years? You know, people just have so many different New Year's resolutions. Not even New Year's resolutions, just things they say they want to achieve.
It's momentum. Do you know what I kind of put it down to the fact that you have time off. So like you have a long break. It's Christmas. Like the first time, yeah. So you got the Christmas break, you got the New Year's break. So it's like the first time where you can really start to see or visualize where you want to be. So like that's why I always feel like New Year, New Me. Although I don't stand by it, I can see how people build up the momentum and then real life hits. They're like, I don't know if I can maintain this. Yeah. I don't know. For me, I remember 2018, I've been traveling, so it was like coming back. And I said to myself, 2019 was about kind of finding my feet again in the sense of adjusting and almost stepping back from a lot of the things that I was doing before. So I had Notesworthy, I had Best Revision Guide, I had Retail Arbitrage, I had Tag Me In Podcast. Yeah. There was probably something else out there that I was trying to do. I was just doing way too much. I had the BME Collective. Like there was a lot of stuff that I was trying to juggle. And I think I made a commitment to myself that I was just going to scale down and just focus on like 1 or 2 or maybe 3 things. I think for me, looking back, I think what I was setting out for was focus.
Okay. That makes so much sense because I think that's the one thing that a lot of people, including myself, sometimes lack. And being able to reflect and look back retrospectively on your life and the last couple of months gives you that. So to give you an example, I did this like activity sheet. So these like goal planners, do this, vision, blah, blah, blah. It's in that vein where it's 2019 to 2020 and it says, okay, cool. This is how you start. The first sheet is basically you looking at going through your calendar, first of all, and writing down not every single thing, but a lot of the major aspects, activities, events, goings-ons that happened just on that sheet. And just by doing that, you kind of get that, oh, wow, it's been quite an eventful year. So for me, just looking back at us achieving our 2-year milestone for the podcast, going skydiving, traveling to like Japan, Bali, all these different things was just sort of there on this one page. And I literally had to get an extra page. And not even in like a cocky way.
He's like, wait, there's more.
It was just I was like, raw. But when I really kind of sat down with myself, wait, there's more. And thought about it, I was like, this is mental. But just by doing that simple act, it just put everything into perspective and kind of showed me a lot of what had happened. And thinking about it, and another aspect of it is kind of going, look at the last 6 months. Where you are now to where you were then. Fair enough, 6 months isn't 4 years, but have you taken steps to achieve the goals you set out to achieve? Yeah. How have you grown from those last 6 months? How have you improved? And it kind of breaks it down into various different sections. So looking at your finances, have you saved more or have you taken more from your savings in the last couple of months? where's the change? Where's the growth been? Have you started to invest?
Yeah.
Have you even started to read on books about investing or saving? Looking at relationships, it was like, how would you rate yourself as a partner? Be honest. Like, how would you rate yourself? And again, has there been improvement? Have you had that awareness and foresight to see yourself in a relationship and made any improvements? Career and business, have there been any promotions? Has there been talk of a promotion? Have you got any pay rises or bonuses? And are you better as an employee or, you know, self-employed or a worker or business owner now than you were 6 months ago? And fair enough, 6 months was just like an example time, but it could be over the last year. It could be over the last 2 years, but it's just kind of getting you in that mind frame of, has there been growth and development? And the same with the physical body. Is your body the way you want it to be? It's winter.
That's the most obvious one, though.
Summer body's made in winter. It's obvious, but a lot of people aren't taking that action. And with the body, it's obvious because you can't hide the donuts.
That's what I mean.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's you can
that's
hide,
a
not
real
saving,
representation.
that's real, like, is it kind of there?
Because all the other stuff you can justify.
That's the thing. You can make excuses, you can justify what. But this...
That promotion didn't happen because X, Y, and Z, or there was no opportunity.
True, yeah.
But when you look yourself in the mirror and you see that
body,
winter flab, that
I
insulation,
said insulation, that triple glaze,
you can't run for it. Yeah, I think, I don't know, personally for me, I kind of mapped out every single kind of goals for every single month, and then I probably got copies of I was looking around because the cleaner's cleaning. I've got goals that are dated back from way back. So I probably got a document somewhere which I started in January, which will show what I was setting out to do for this year. But I think interestingly, when it comes to work, we have like half year appraisals or quarterly appraisals, but we don't really take that same sort of conditioning or programming into our own little lives. We do this. How's the year been? 12 months later, rather than catching it throughout the year. So maybe just checking in on yourself every 3 months and being like, how are we doing towards that goal?
That's the thing. It's a completely different pressure, and I'm glad you mentioned that because one thing I heard was this kind of statement or sentence, if you will, and it was that you should treat your life as if like a business.
Wow.
So you're the CEO.
Sorry, I'm close today.
Yeah, no, we're close today. but it goes to that point perfectly. And so I'm glad you mentioned it, in that at work in a business, you have quarterly, monthly, annual reviews and kind of targets and checkpoints where you check in and you see whether or not you're achieving your goals. Like you said, you have appraisals. How have you found the last 6 months? This is how I feel your assessment or your behavior has been towards the objectives we set out for you. It sounds harsh, but this is how people get results. And it puts you in that mind frame of, okay, I've got to deliver. And the key aspect of that is accountability. Because a lot of people don't have that in their own personal lives. They just live life and they're more relaxed and they'll give all to their jobs and the business, but when it's themselves, no, I'll start next year. If we can give a percentage of that, you don't have to, but if you can give a percentage of that you give to work in terms of that accountability aspect. Because again, I remember I was reading this book and I was listening to this podcast, and the guy spoke about how, one of the main reasons why people sometimes fail in business and achieving their goals in life is that lack of that accountability. If no one's there to badge you up and say, yo, why haven't you done this? It's not going to get done. That's not happening at work. James, where is the report? I want it tonight at 5 p.m. Okay, cool. Anton, best believe that report is getting done. But if you haven't got that, for example, personal trainer to say, hey, look, no muffins, no biscuits, it's vegetables, it's broccoli, it's herbal teas. You're going to see this person in KFC. Munching up wings and fries, get an extra. And it's just being able to, again, take a step back and like reflect. Like the part I really enjoyed was the whole just looking at the last year and just being like, okay, cool. How's it gone? And not being too critical on oneself, because it's a known fact that for a lot of people, we are our own worst critics. We're so hard on ourselves. Oh, I should be here. I should have this amount of money. But they're able to kind of be like, you know what? This year's been good. I didn't achieve everything I wanted to achieve, but this year's been good. I'm happy. I'm alive. I've given to charity. I've saved X amount. We bought the house. We put X amount into the fund account, into the ISA. We're achieving things. And just being able to kind of reflect on that aspect, it's wonderful. It's really wonderful.
So what, just setting out milestones?
Setting out milestones, looking and reflecting, and other questions that came up in this like exercise as well were like things like, you know, over the last year, what has been, you know, give us one example of one of the best days. What has been one of the best days of your life? I don't want to say like of the last year. What has been one of the most challenging days?
Oh, okay.
There's growth in, you know, when you're challenged, that's when there's growth. That's when you're true.
And you have that realization that you made it.
Precisely. What has been a disappointing day, and what can you learn from that? And off the back of all of this, there's this thing that people listening, you can do this at home yourselves, where it's literally just, if you can't be bothered with those documents, because it is quite a tedious process. Short and simple is start, stop, continue. Literally, write those 3 words down. What are you going to start from now? You're going to hit the gym. You're going to meditate more. You're going to be more positive affirmations. You're going to read more. Stop. What are you going to stop? Unhealthy eating habits. A lack of routine when it comes to sleep and diet. Negative thoughts. And what are you going to continue? Because you're probably doing things that are really good that you can just literally continue doing. You're good at saving. Okay, continue that habit. And just kind of being able to reflect on that. That's just a simple free check system where you just like, I'm going to sit down on the commute to work and just think about how things can change. And it's really powerful because, again, by being able to look back at your past, it gives you an idea of who you are. Because again, what the activity is trying to get you to do is, say for example, you look back at the last 3-4 years, you see you've set 10 goals each and every year, you only achieve 1 of those goals. That tells you a lot about you and how you assess goals and how you achieve things. Maybe it's worth just having 1 goal this time or 2 goals this year. So then next year you're like, actually, I only had 1 goal and I achieved my entire goal. I got 100%. Whereas that 1 out of 10 is like, oh man. By just making that simple change, but also seeing that when there are goals you've set in place and they're more maybe difficult or there's a lot more resistance to it, you're more likely to fall off. So there's this book I read, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it speaks about the path of least resistance. And the basic premise is that if you're going to the gym, you're more likely to go to the gym if your gym bag is by the door. If your gym is 5-10 minutes away from work. If you got to get on a bus and go 45 minutes in the morning, if you're not a morning person, you're less likely to go. So it's about just kind of putting things in alignment with you. And the best way to do that is to reflect on what works for you and what doesn't, and just use that to your advantage. Use it to your advantage.
It's kind of making life a lot easier for yourself.
Precisely, so just making it easier.
It's that preparation step as well, because, you know, having that gym bag ready for you to pick up as soon as you leave the house makes life a lot easier, rather than that challenging point of getting your stuff together before leaving.
Where's the socks? Where's my trainers?
You're just going to be like, maybe no gym today. And that continues, you know. I think I read that book time ago. I remember that,
it's a good one. It's a good one. I might actually go through it again. And because with that example, with me, gym, food, I've just found that meal prepping on a Sunday and having that non-negotiable time to myself, that hour and a half in the morning to say, this is my time to meal prep. This hour and a half represents all my lunches and dinners throughout the week. I'm going to respect and honour this time and commit to myself. And I've done that, and I've just seen, come home, I've got to cook. No, I don't have to cook. I've done that already. Everything's just ready. Everything's prepped, and it's just like, you know what? When I saw how successful that was for me, I just thought to myself, how can I take this element, having done that self-reflection of the past year, 6 months, how can I take this element and implement the strategy to other areas? How can I implement this to save finances? How can I implement this to my mental state, to meditation, to different facets of life? And it's like, you know what, this is...
So going, understanding that you've done the exercise.
Yeah.
If we're going to keep it from the simple level of the start, stop.
Yeah.
What's the other part?
Start, stop, continue.
Continue. What's going to be your start for 2020?
My start.
New decade,
you know what?
That.
I actually stopped. This is a start, but I stopped journaling. So I guess start journaling again. Start journaling.
This guy has to keep on adding it again.
I'm
starting journaling.
Start journaling. Get into that habit of end of the day, 5 minutes. How was the day? What am I grateful for? Keeping it simple. I think I went into the mental aspect of it, because it was that part of it being a lot simpler, but there is a lot of value in having it written down, being able to see these different aspects of what I'm thinking. So start journaling, will definitely be one of the starts. I think I want to spend a lot more. This year was more on the physical body, in terms of just focusing on getting the body right, diet, that sort of thing. So I think I don't even want to say this year, I just want to say from now, to also start that focus and attention on the mental side. So positive mindset, positive energy, being around people who are positive and are focused. And as the saying goes, iron sharpens iron, average of your 5 closest friends. So just being conscious of who I'm around, how they perceive the world, and also how I perceive, and also more importantly, how people see me as well. It's all good and well in your head thinking, yeah, I'm this and that, but how does the world see you? You might not be a smoker. If I left you in a room full of smokers and they were smoking, if you then come out, first thing I smell, and I'm thinking, this guy smokes. Yeah. You're not a smoker, but you smell of smoke. So understanding that perception of myself in different environments and just seeing how I can use that again to my benefit. That's a start. In terms of a stop, Ooh. That's a good one, actually. Am I going to stop? I guess the last couple of months, I've been dipping into savings sometimes, which is not like me. It's a bit annoying. I'm like, this ain't me. But I got to sort this out. I got to sort that out. Yeah. So stop doing that. I think I've pretty much got a handle on it now. But it's definitely stop doing that. And then continue exercise in the gym, waking up early and having time to myself. And just continue to give myself time. Yeah. I think for me, let me speak for myself. I give a lot to work and to family and friends and all the different relationships. And it's like, hold on a minute. We've said this many times. Cup's empty. Looking kind of dry. Limesco on the sides. Like, no, let me, by all means, I'm not saying I'm going to stop kind of giving love and sharing out, but let me actually take time out for myself. What about me? Yeah. As we've always said, you can't pour from empty. Let me make sure my cup run off over. Make sure I'm good. Then, give back to others. So I think that's definitely my start, stop, continue. How's it looking for you? What are we starting? I'm not even.
That's the thing. I'm not even there.
Are you not there?
I haven't prepared for my New Year because
no, fair enough.
My way kind of like New Year reflection is they got the VIA surveys where it's like your characteristics and it puts your top characteristics.
They're the top 20, isn't it?
Yeah, strengths and weakness. Well, it's not even weaknesses. It doesn't say weaknesses. So I kind of do that as a way to see how has my mind changed over the year. I think one thing I'll definitely continue is this whole aspect of focusing on one or two things at a time. Yeah. Because I think with clarity, there's so much power with it. And, just reflecting and looking back on previous years, definitely learning in it. Yeah. Because I've learned a lot from it. But it just becomes a lot easier when you've got that focal, energy and you know exactly what you're doing. It's just like, woo!
But do you ever feel like, so obviously you were doing quite a few things before, spinning like all these different plates.
So many plates.
Now that it's now that it's one or two, do you feel that once these two are achieved, you'll be like, I wish I did 6 though? Or you like, are you up and like, you know what, I've done 6, it didn't work. With these 2, I've got the focus, I'm going to just stick to this.
There's nothing wrong with spinning multiple plates, but at least get your plates to spin by themselves, if that makes sense. Like I was starting up so many like ventures all at once. Yeah. And there was one time where I was spinning up like every 3 months a new venture. Like I had a Shopify store as well. And I was selling eco-friendly products.
Mine was going in, boy.
it's like, wait until you got one that is actually like... But it can look after itself. It might need watering. All of them needed watering at the same time. So like continuing that sort of mindset. Also learning to say no, which is extremely powerful.
Yes. And no is a complete sentence.
Very powerful. Start, I guess, being more present. So a lot of the times I found myself, especially in the last 6 months, I've been doing a lot of like self-discovery, learning, courses, reading, and everything like that. And it's scary to know that we're actually robots and we respond to things being said to us, but we don't actually pay attention to what's actually being said. So a lot of times we're just in our own little space that we're not even thinking about that person, no matter how they're talking or saying. Like, they're actually a person and they're saying something, and you don't actually have to react. You just need to be there. You need to be present in that moment. So that's one thing that I am starting, and you know, I feel like there's more effort that needs to be put into it, and it's a challenging point because, you know, for years you've been programmed just to react. You're a robot. Like, honestly, to think that you're actually a robot sounds mad.
This is scary, man. Like, saying this in 2020.
It's true. But like, it's that whole thing of like that internal voice. You know, what is that internal voice? If I went silent right now,
I'll be like, what's...
That's what I mean. Like, you're ready to react.
Don't do that.
You're ready to react.
I'm like, we still recording?
Yeah, so like, it's that, getting a bit more understanding around that and be like, okay, it's silent. Wow. And then I guess stop. What is stop? I guess stop is self-doubt, or that kind of, nothing wrong with talking to yourself, but stopping that voice of fear. So whenever fear is, you know, there, just be like, okay, I hear you, but you ain't gonna do nothing.
Like who?
Like, with anything, that we probably feared so many things in our lifetime that we've actually overcome it, and then we look back on it and be like, what was I scared about?
Fam, that's what I'm saying. This is about the whole like reflection thing. Because with I remember with university, I was like, could I ever do university? Could I ever do that? Then I'm like, I done did that. I'm like, what? Get out of here.
It's different. Then that's what I mean. Like, especially looking back on the year, there's been probably things I've feared. Maybe a meeting or some sort of event or just anything. There's been moments, and I'm like, why are they asking me?
You know what I mean, man?
I'm not even prepared or anything like that. And then obviously you feel it in that moment, but then you get over it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like there's so I read like the Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. So Stoicism is some type of like philosophy coming from like Greek time, ancient Greek time. So one of the readings recently was about fear of death. And it was like, what's the point of fearing death when you know it's going to happen? Yeah. So like, should you not just live rather than fearing it? Because once you're dead, there's nothing to fear. So it's like some mind fuck sort of thing, right? But it's like, fear is non-existent really, because like, it happens, you go through it, but at the end of it, what else is there to it?
Yeah.
You know? So it's that kind of, you know, by fear, I hear you, or just saying, changing the fear from where it's paralyzing me to being like, okay, I hear you.
I think it's like,
roll on.
The way I kind of see it is like sort of, and this links to kind of negative thoughts as well, being to a certain degree a spectator in your mind. Yeah. So you know, like you said, you've got those voices. They're there. They're doing their thing. Self-doubt, death. Oh yeah, this meeting, whatever. Be a spectator. Or like this. You're on this app, Headspace. Yeah. It talks about meditation, and it kind of, there's a piece that I really appreciate for the app, and it says, imagine your thoughts are like cars driving along a kind of like dual carriageway or whatever. And then you're just there, sat on your little beach chair, just watching them go past. Oh, wow. They're not hitting into you. They're not disturbing you. You're not disturbing them. There's no traffic. They're just going. You're just there. Like, just be a spectator. Just not kind of taking in, not feeding into those thoughts. And like you said, death's going to happen. Yeah. It is what it is. When you're dead, you're not going to be scared because you're dead.
Yeah, because definitely on that, it's kind of like disattaching that thought from yourself, which is so important, because that thought is just your brain chatting. It's just making noise for no reason. Yeah. Like, I guess 90% of it is shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but
it's not the reality.
I don't know the perfect percentage, but someone said, and again, I'll need to find stats on it, but I guess I know how we'd find out. But apparently, 89% of a lot of our thoughts are like negative or like rubbish. Yeah. That's mad.
So like, if you're detached from it, you just let them, like you're saying, just let them be, let them fly, and be like, at the end of it, even if you're stuck with it, just think about the cost. The cost of that thinking is it's not going to allow you to achieve your goals that you set out for yourself. Do you know how many times, like, a lot of people will say there's times that they kind of like self-sabotage themselves, or they haven't pursued something out of fear.
Yeah.
And as a consequence, they haven't achieved their goal. But like, imagine being in that moment and you got that fear coming up and it's arising and you're going, okay, bye. You just let it be.
Or you're right, yeah, I'll see you later.
You go, okay, I see you. But if I give in to you, what's the cost? I'm not going to be where I'm going to want to be. So at the end of 2020, I'm still going to be in the same position because I let that fear win.
Yeah. It's because you know what, and
that's what I'm stopping.
That's that's a powerful stop. I remember I was listening to, and he said it a few times, Tim Ferriss's podcast, and he sort of says, when there is something you want to achieve and that fear is there, think about what will happen if you don't take action. So you want to be an Olympian, for example. Someone wants to be an Olympian. If you do it, if it all goes well, you become this amazing Olympian. You go down in like human history. You've achieved all these results, whatever. If you don't achieve it, what is the cost? For example, you might end up in Tesco. How does that affect you? Seeing other people being that Olympian, you're there going, that was supposed to be me. Yeah. They're like, can you stock up the fish thing, please? Yeah. Like, what's the cost of you not achieving it? And that very thought, that painful thought of you imagining yourself not in that position is enough, usually gives you enough fire to be like, no, I'm going to do it.
So speaking of Tim Ferriss, he's got a thing called the fear list, the fear setting list.
Yeah.
And I probably went through it about maybe 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And I had a very strong attachment to my company car. I was like, if I lost it, like, it was a fear. I was like, if I lose it, then what am I going to do?
But you get the nice cars from your car. I hear that. I feel that. I feel that. I'm like, no.
But like, I had to sit down and I went through a number of fears and I went through the fear setting list. And I can't remember exactly how you do it. But at the end of it, you go, okay, company car. If you lose it, so when I say lose it, leave my job. Once I lose all those perks, what am I left with? I'm left without no pay. I've got no car, no health insurance, all that sort of stuff. So, okay, if that happens, what? Oh, you buy another car. It's not quite the same, but it still goes from A to B.
Man said, did you die though?
You don't get paid. All right, cool. So you try and work out how else you can make money. If that doesn't work out, you go into a IT job, just to keep things afloat, or part-time just to keep things going. And then health insurance, well, there's NHS. It's not that bad. And if you really wanted to, you start making money and then you go for your own private.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this takes that fear and just goes...
It's perspective, isn't it?
Bullshit.
That's the thing, because when you actually think about it logically, you're like, why? It's
not the best. It's not, but you're not dead.
Yeah. But yeah, like, you're right.
You're still breathing.
Yeah, you're still good. And it's just understanding that. And again, it's that whole reflection piece and just understanding that sometimes you just need to slow down. That we had this in our last episode with Martha. It's just a case of sometimes slowing down and just slow down the pace and just looking around.
Yeah.
Reflection. It's powerful. It's I'm sort of big on reflection now, just looking back and assessing situations in life and being appreciative as well. It's all good and well. Again, looking forward, wanting more money, more relationships, more whatever the case is, a bigger house, bigger car, whatever it is, but just being present, like you said, and appreciating, I think for me, appreciating what we have currently.
Yeah.
When I see these stories about people with like no limbs, no arms, no food, starving, I'm like, what am I complaining? Like, we've got it good. And just that for me just forms a big part of reflection. So just powerful stuff.
I'm probably gonna try and adapt that somehow, because I've always had like some type of variation of tackling like New Year's and like reflecting on it.
Okay, yeah.
So there's been years where I probably spent like an hour just sitting in silence and just going through my head through the year and just letting things surface and being like, okay, that was a high point, that was a low point, just naturally in that moment. And there's just been times where, like, literally this year, I'm just excited to just have all my, like, literally I want to go away for like and maybe 2 days. Have my vision board, have my whiteboard, and then kind of construct like my next year.
Yeah.
But then also going through all the old documentation of like every month plan and being like, okay, didn't do that, didn't do this. And I think personally for me, I think is a great tip that if you have that monthly check-in, you can see your progress.
Okay, with oneself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If you have it in such a way where you can either tick it, or in my case, you can highlight the cell and turn it green.
Yeah.
It's an achievement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that building on factor. It's just like, what? I could do that. On to the next one. So
I use so there's this app called, it's a web app as well, on an app on my phone. It's called To Do List. And yeah, it just gives you, there's a free version and premium version. And I just recently upgraded to the premium. It was like £30 for the year. It's £3 a month, £4 a month, whatever it is. But yeah, the way it is you get the kind of standard tick list where you put in what you want to do for the day. It recommends about 5 tasks, so it doesn't matter. Put in what you want to do for the day. You tick it off and it goes away. And it's that factor of, I've achieved it.
yeah.
But the main thing that I really appreciate about it is that you can look back again retrospectively and see what you've achieved for the last month, what maybe had to be delayed and pushed back, how many points you've gained. But I like the fact that you can see what you've done.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of us, and I've been guilty of this, have this kind of attitude of, okay, we've achieved this. What's next?
Yeah.
On to the next one. What else? And it's like, okay, bro, chill. Look at what we've done.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah. It's like what Martha was saying about just relaxing and taking yourself out of that fast lane and slowing down for a bit and then reflecting again. Because I think one of my, I think from early, when I was like 16, I was documenting or like writing diaries and just entries about days and everything like that, but I wouldn't go back on it. But it's like only, I think probably 4 years ago, you ever heard of a bullet journal?
Yeah.
So you can customize it in any sort of way. And it's just nice to carry around. And I think getting back to pen and paper was like...
It's basic but powerful.
Yeah, so powerful. So like, whether it be a diary that you just put in activities of what you've done. I had my spreadsheet, but I've kind of moved away from the spreadsheet because it's just like, I can have it on the go. It's great from a high level, but I walk around with a little notebook now. Yeah. And every single day I'm just jotting down notes. And then at the end of the week, I go back on it and I'm like, okay, cool. And from a monthly point of view, it's like, snap, you've done this, progress. So yeah, you got to-do lists, you've got Trello if you're ever interested, Evernote. You can use, reminders on your iPhone. You could go, hey Siri, remind me next week Tuesday to have a check-in time, at 8 p.m. And it will just set it up for you. It's in your calendar. But I think it's definitely important how you question, your progress, because, we're speaking from a point that there's been progress made, but what do you do when progress hasn't been made? Like, what do you say to yourself? How do you deal with it? And there's definitely going to be moments in our lives that we're going to probably not feel like we're progressing. Yeah. And you just have to have this real honest conversation and identify why it hasn't happened. And it's going to sound very tough and very harsh, but
say it.
We can't play the blame game. We have to accept responsibility. Yeah. So, yes, circumstances has made, your life a certain way, or you haven't been able to achieve it because X, Y, and Z, but there is an element of responsibility from 100%. Your side that you could be like, I could have stepped up somehow, some way. Yeah. And you might not know the answers, and that's probably why you need to share what you set out, for the next year, next month. Personally, you need to tell as many people, you need to shout about it. People need to know. It's that element of being accountable. Yeah. People need to know what's happening. And if you need accountability, then, tell people that you need accountability, or start going to places where you meet new people and they're in the same sort of field or interest, or, they're trying to change in a certain way, and then become really good, not best friends with them, but become friends with them. Yeah,
close enough. But yeah, that's because
set up that accountability call, and then that's it.
And then you're good. And I think one thing I read a while back was that sometimes by simply just saying it, even though there might not be anyone in that space. So say you want to start a fitness journey, maybe no one else wants to start a fitness journey, but by you simply telling people around you, friends, family, you're giving them a certain level of accountability, power. In that the next time they see you, what's the one thing they're probably going to ask you?
How's it going?
How's it going?
Yeah.
Basically.
Even if they don't, still shout about it.
Yeah, the pressure's there.
Like,
the pressure
even
is
if
there.
I don't mean this in a rude way, but even if people don't support it, don't believe it, don't go quiet on it for yourself. Like, it's not going to do you good. So when they go, how things going, and you know they're not interested in your fitness journey, still talk about it. It's part of you. Like, be you. Because then the moment you start bringing it to life, then you can't hide from it.
It's there. It's all there. Like I did that with my fitness thing. I'm doing it with property purchase and the traveling. And fam, I've just... There's the traveling, bro, is so deep. I'm just like, you know what? If there was any doubt, I'm like, it's not happening. If I'm at work, the amount of people who've come up to me and be like, oh, I know you said you're traveling, have you started preparing? I'm just like, I'm like, when did I even tell you, Brenda? You're in a different department. But I'm like, you know what?
You're living it.
There's no, the accountability is like, there's no escape.
Yeah.
There's no escape. But
2020 vision.
2020 vision.
Entering a new
round
decade.
the corner. Year of the dragon and that. I don't know if it is.
So wait, in 10 years' time, you're going to be what? 38. What?
Crazy, bro. Yeah, I was saying, I'm like 10 years.
Sorry. Let's end the
No,
podcast there, man. No. Hey.
Mad. 38. Boy. But there's this statement of we overestimate what we can do in a year, but underestimate what we can achieve in 5 years, 10 years. So watch this space, yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah? That's both of us, bro.
Yeah?
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. But yeah.
Hungry for it.
On that note, we'll close. We'll end this episode. Thank you everyone who has been rocking with us from the start of this year, middle of the year, whenever it's been. We really appreciate it. We can be found on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube under the name Tag Me Podcast. We can be emailed at info@tagmepodcast.co.uk. If you've got any queries, episode suggestions, dilemmas, feel free to write into us on any of the platforms. And as always,